Welcome in. Welcome. Inside Studio S. He's Captain Jack. I'm Dan Koo. We'll be joined momentarily by Tommy Viola, who has promised to return in some sort of holiday-appropriate garb. Jack, do you want to handicap what this could be? My thought was an American flag Speedo. We'll see.
I think there'll be a hat involved. I think there'll be a Uncle Sam level hat involved. That's my guess.
Okay.
Here he comes.
Every time Tommy.
Oh boy, how do we grade this one?
Yes, I am a real American.
We got Ronald Reagan firing a machine gun, riding a velociraptor on the tank top here.
You know what's great is I get served the same ads you do for bad T-shirts.
Little Steven Van Sant action here or something.
Absolutely,
I love it. A lot of do-rags in your house.
It's actually technically a scarf. It's just it's my U.S. national team scarf.
Unabated fashion.
Yes.
I love it. I have a pair of American flag compression shorts that I like to wear on Memorial Day, but I'm not sitting in them currently. I don't think Alex Kane would love. I was rubbing myself all over the seat in the studio. It is YRFI NRFI Fest. We've got two YRFI NRFIs. Of course, you got the guys from Unabated, Tommy Viola, Jack Andrews joining us here. We have Kansas City and Cleveland, right? As you can see on your screen to the right here, that is the Sport Trade app. I'm on the NRFI on that one, much debated YRFI NRFI to Jack's chagrin. And then I'm on the over here, the YRFI for Tigers and Rangers. So if you are a premium Unabated subscriber, you no doubt saw Jack's very educational 45-minute video on basically you rebuilding your YRFI NRFI models, which was an unbelievable video. I learned a ton. One of the things you said in that video, though, Jack, is that the public, the squares out there, seem to think that the NRFI is the bet to make, and you say nay. Having said that, I have bet a NRFI today.
Yeah. I just posted on Twitter, friends don't let friends bet NRFIs. It's just the stat I keep coming back to is if you bet $100 on every no in the first inning for every game in Major League Baseball since 2012, you'd be down about $220,000 betting $100 a game. I mean, the stats have proven themselves. It's a horrible bet most of the time. That said, I could probably count on it's probably under 10% of all the bets that I make on first innings are a no. And I kind of lean towards the under in that Cleveland Kansas City game. I did not bet it, but for the right price, I would bet it. And my right price would be about plus 105. So,
okay.
I mean, Tommy, what did you do on this game?
Nothing. I couldn't figure out. I was with you. The prices weren't looking good. I even consulted Spread, asked him what he thought, and his comment was that the totals are just too high today, and nothing's. It's a tough slate.
So that's interesting, right? Because Tommy, you had mentioned last time we did a YRFI NRFI Fest that a way to gauge YRFI NRFI is to look at the total, and if it's something that's 9 or over, that averages out to a run per inning, and then that can sort of guide whichever way you want to lean. But you guys were saying the prices just weren't right.
Jack also has some thoughts on that, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, you really need to take into account the pitchers because the pitchers vary every game, and some pitchers are better in first innings than others for whatever reason. You need to take into account lineups, especially in day games where you're going to have possible resting situations. The case in point lately is the Yankees have been really good with first innings this year until Aaron Judge went out, and now they're not so good. So you need to take that into consideration. But it really comes down to that first innings are on an island of themselves. And the way that you gauge those isn't necessarily as a derivative of the total game price, which is how they are priced by the sports books. So that's where you find your edge.
So I'm pulling up Unabated now, and I'll share it so everybody can see. So I know Tommy and I have talked about this. Jack, do you use the totals at all to be instructive when you're looking at these particular markets?
I only use them to know where I might get an edge because I know the sports books use those game totals. So I, in turn, say, oh, okay, that total is 8, then there might be value to the yes. and go from there. But with Detroit, Texas here, these are two rookie pitchers. It's really tough to get a read on how rookie pitchers are going. There actually is a stat. Pitchers in their first ever start are actually very good for the yes. You can use all your qualitative analysis there to realize like, oh, they might be a little shaky in their first inning, and then they settle in. But once they have a couple starts under their belt, it's really tough to get a read on exactly what was signal and what was noise when it comes to rookie pitchers. So I didn't take anything on this Detroit Texas game, even though I would have leaned to the yes there. But I felt like it just wasn't worth the play. And then the other game, if anything, I leaned towards the no, but I just can't pull myself to bet it at the current number. And so I did put up an offer there on Sport Trade to see if it would get picked up. But it looks like it hasn't.
Just want to draw everyone's attention as we're looking at the totals on unabated, just in that real meaty section. A lot of green S's there. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
A lot of green S's. Emphasis on the meaty section. Go ahead, Tommy.
And Dan, if you click on the history for this Tigers-Rangers game real quick, if you click on that, let's see on the unabated line or even what the best line is, there's been some wild line movement in this one over the course of the last 24 hours or so. I'm looking here on the unabated Discord. I've seen a lot of 8.5 for us here on the unabated line, but the number's been as high as 9 and apparently as low as 7.5 if you can find it, like Pinnacle has right now.
Yeah. Pinnacle 7.5. We've got it at 8.5 at Sport Trade, and all the other useless operators out there either have something similar or different. I'm joking, obviously. Okay, we're nearing first pitch, so let me I will just quickly navigate away here from unabated. I've noticed on the live streams, Jack is just so much better at navigating StreamYard than I am. So shout out to him. It's a new world for me, but he does a fantastic job. There we go. So we've got the unabated, the Sport Trade screen back up. Okay, players are on the field here for Texas and the Tigers. Now we've been doing MLBI here at Sport Trade, which is basically if you were to buy one share of a team to win every single day, who would return the most money via ROI or just straight dollars. And the Texas Rangers, maybe unsurprising now, are a top 5 team, maybe a surprise at the start of the year. And we've done really well on this. We've been doing it, I think, for the last 3 or 4 weeks. I think we're 33-20 with an ROI over 8% right now. So obviously, I think everyone in this live stream would agree, don't blind bet things. But while MLBI is not necessarily predictive in nature, it does give us a good look at who is outperforming market expectations repeatedly. So that's kind of how we've been approaching that. And to this point, we're up over $270. So from that perspective, it's been pretty good. Tommy, you said you don't have any action on either the YRFI or NRFI today, right?
Yeah, unfortunately. I wish I had something for you here, but yeah, haven't really been taking them today.
That's okay. That's okay. We, I think for my career total, my career win-loss on YRFI NRFI Fest, I think after a 3-2 week last week, which was just a bonanza. I know Jack always says it's hard to track 2 games. We had 5 games. I think my total record now is 4-6 or 4-7. So not great, but we are underway now in Texas.
So the other thing that I'm looking at here is possibly betting this in game. So the key there would be to see where in the lineup they are and how strong the next batter is and see if we can get an edge. Again, I'm only looking to probably bet the yes rather than the no. That's right. A little. I do not try to bet in-game first innings, but I'm willing to try if I see something pop up on the app here while we're talking.
Well, we're happy to do it as well. That's one of the fun things, right? If a guy leads off the game with a double, that double, depending on your share price, could be worth $15, $20. You could take that depending on the spread, right? The bid ask. And then if they strand that guy, you know, you're still in the plus money here. 2-2 count to Bradford, the first, to Bradley Vierling, former Philly great. I'm sure we all remember his sterling stretch as a Philadelphia Philly.
Yeah.
Looks like a
So
pop-up.
yeah, the price has dropped. It's now plus 120 to the yes. And that shows you how quickly these lines move. Is all it
Yeah,
takes
why
is
don't
like
I'll
one.
switch over. There we go. I'll switch over to American odds for everybody.
Oh yeah, sorry. I think in American odds.
No, but as most do, and that's okay. We're here for the people. If you want to apply probs, we've got that. If you want American odds, we can do that too. Tommy, I wanted to ask you this before the game started. You seem to be a man about town. Every time we're talking, every time I look at your Twitter feed, you're at something, you're doing something. I would just love a peek in your social calendar.
I mean, this week has been completely occupied by my parents being in town, but yeah, I'd like to think that I get around. I have some fun. It's Las Vegas. I'm in my 20s for another couple years here, and just enjoying things. But the most important thing is as long as you get all your work done, right?
Jack, can you put that on a shirt and sell it in the unabated merch store? I get around.
Right.
Tom Viola.
Trust me, I've gotten to know Tommy pretty well. Man, he's living the life.
I'm good for you. He's tweeting about first dates. He's tweeting at all these different things he's got going on. I'm as somebody who has recently graduated from his 20s. Recently is a loose term. Very jealous. Very jealous what you got going on. I love it. We're also underway in Kansas City. Zach Greinke, first pitch looks like in and out. So I think let's refresh the memes here. We're on the under there. That's already up $14.
It's a good start.
I always think it's an interesting conversation to be had, right? Because Jack has always said and has written about this on Unabated, or excuse me, has given quotes to Jason at Unabated about when it's appropriate to cash out and if it's ever appropriate to cash out. In a situation like this, Jack, you're looking at a situation where the value, the equity of your cash out may not exactly be at 97%. So would you say in most of those cases you're sitting tight?
Yes, especially in a situation like this where we know that the market makers at Sport Trade are going to have a little bit wider spread on this because it's a high variance prop. They want to protect themselves a little bit more. So that friction-free environment that I always talk about at Sport Trade has a little bit more friction. There's going to be a little bit more margin in there. You're not going to get the full amount as you will with like a game total or a game spread. So, and that's nothing against the market makers there at Sport Trade. It's just a fact of economics. And so, especially in these first innings, I would definitely ride them out or, ride them out.
3-1 count here to Ramirez in Kansas City. I feel like a discount version of Bob Uecker. 3-1, top of the first tier. Greinke v. Ramirez.
If they get the first man on, that'll definitely swing some odds there. Oh no, sorry, it's not the first man, and they already have 2 outs. So he walked, it looks like, and
So let's see how that affected the price here. Yep, I'm on the wrong game. Let me flip on over. Imagine doing this with 5 games. Guardians Royals 1 on. So right now we're up $2 on the under. So we were up 11, I think, and now we're down to 2. Shane Bieber will be throwing for the Guardians, I believe. Base hit. Okay. Greinke gives up a base hit. So now 2 on, 2 out for the Guardians. I sat here and I said to myself, I'm going to take the under, but the Guardians don't strike out generally. Greinke is 3 or 4 years past his youthfulness. I felt like I should have jumped on the YRFI, but here we sit.
You're telling me you're regretting a bet you took. That no one has ever done that before.
First time, and it's happening live. I'm so embarrassed.
So over in that Texas game, they have 2 men on with 1 out, and you see that the YRFI is a heavy favorite now.
Looks like let's see, wait,
but it's the favorite.
Update. Oh, big swing and a miss. Man, what a sad state of affairs in Detroit when Javi Baez is your hitting cleanup.
This is true.
I'll tell you though, nothing better than a having a beer in the bleachers at Wrigley. Tom, have you ever done that?
I can't say I have. Haven't been. I was in Chicago a few weeks ago, but I did not stop by Wrigley Field.
I think Wrigleyville is one of my favorite places on earth, if I'm being honest. There's nothing better than being a bleacher bum out there.
I was across the street from Soldier Field at the time, which is very weird, to be quite frank with you. The remodel that they did on that stadium does not look great.
Yeah, it's like a spaceship on top of the Coliseum. If you've never been to Soldier Field.
Mm-hmm.
So when I used to cover the Packers, we used to sit obviously in the press box, and the press box is so short, like the window scape is so short that you can't actually see the entire field. So like from the 15-yard line, it like cuts. So you can't see any of the end zone to the 15-yard line on one of the sides of the field. One of the
bases
worst,
loaded in Kansas City.
Yeah, listen, media guy complaining about being at football games for free. But yeah, it's not great. Yeah, bases loaded. Let's jump back over there.
After this, I can tell you the worst stadium I've ever been in. That's an easy one.
I feel like I could probably I could guess it.
Okay,
I think
I just took some YRFI in the Kansas City game.
Okay, and what price?
I double popped it, and my aggregate price is $53.25, so minus 116.
Okay,
to the yes.
Okay,
2 outs, top of the first.
Yeah, bases loaded.
So it really comes down to this at bat. Like, in other words,
let's see what happens.
Yeah, I'll either win it on this at bat, or I will be a large dog.
Well, if you see what's on my screen right now, Jack, we're going head to head right now, and I'm liking my odds. Oh, roll over to second. That's going to retire the side.
Okay, so I'm a heavy dog on that now.
Yeah. Yep. So Greinke gets out of it. Yeah. So Greinke gets out of it. So now the under is available 283, selling at 228. So with the size of that spread, we'll tell you what that's worth right now in terms of a cash out. It's worth $20.58. Midpoint's at 21. So there you go.
Yeah. So I mean, in my situation, I'm pretty much like almost opposite that. I'm going to hold on to it. It's still the top of the lineup for Kansas City, even though it's Kansas City. And for you, it's just not, it's probably just not cost effective to cash out of that right yet.
Right.
And then we got middle of the first over there in Texas. And,
yeah, so we're going to need the Rangers, who are great at scoring runs, to do their thing. We're down 18.55 there. You could buy it plus 119, sell it back at plus 245. So right now down 18.55. But this is an interesting scenario. You get to the bottom half of an inning, right? You've gone bust. Let's say you have a YRFI. No runs have been scored in the top half. You go to the bottom half, and let's say there's one out. Guy gets on base, maybe it's a double. Is there a situation to where you would say, okay, I'm willing to take a cash out for profit, as opposed to, the probability of a team driving in a guy in scoring position with 1 out or 2 outs? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So are you saying we buy it now at like plus 218?
No, I'm asking, is that a scenario in which you would say, okay, I'm comfortable taking a profit as opposed to winning the full boat?
I mean, the other way I would look at it is I would be comfortable taking a flyer on plus 204. And then if that double happens or something where it's the run expectancy is not in your favor, but at least it gets the price back up to, where it's a profit for you. Cashing out is a possibility. Definitely.
Okay. But you're saying buying from where we were mid-inning.
Well, yeah, just because that was pretty advantageous. In fact, I did buy a little on the yes in Texas middle inning there, just because it was plus 211 or so, and that was too good to ignore.
We already have a base hit. Leadoff man is on, so runner on first here against Olsen for the Rangers, who at last check, I believe, have Reese Olsen on the hill. I believe have the second best record in the AL to the Rays, if I'm not mistaken.
So yeah, now with the price at roughly 43 or plus 120, it I could sell for a profit right now. That wouldn't be a bad move, but I'm also.
So how much was that single worth, Jack?
Let's see, it moved basically from plus 200 to plus 120. So it went from 66 or 33% to 45% expectation, at least in the sport trade world. How much was it worth in terms of a run expectancy matrix? You could Google that. You could look online to find there's a matrix of whenever there is a 0 out, man on first situation, here's the probability of a run being scored. And you could work with that. And I'm sure your market makers are well aware of that.
Shane Bieber with a strikeout to start the bottom of the first in Kansas City. So now we're up $32 here, minus 578 to buy, minus 426 to sell on our NRFI between the Guardians and Royals, which means I'm a sharp now. This looks pretty good. Fly ball to right. Could it be 2? Nope. That's going to fall in for a foul ball. So that's kind of the secondary game, it feels like right now. We're kind of laser focused here on the Rangers and the Tigers, as I think we're both on the YRFI. Yeah.
We're both on the year. I'm on the yes on both games now. You're on the yes, and then opposing me on the. All right, so we got an out there in Texas.
Yeah.
But,
and Tom is just sitting around wishing he was in his hot tub.
I am just having the FOMO from the fact that you New Jersey-based bettors get both great pizza and great betting apps.
Is it great pizza? I don't want to start a fight, but is it great pizza? Like I think you should leave meme. Like, are you sure about that? You sure about that?
As someone who has had pizza in Italy and compared it to the New Jersey stuff, we hold up.
No, don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. That's sacrilegious. I can't believe you just said that.
It is absolutely fantastic. And I am a pizza snob, I will tell you that much.
So where's your spot? Where's your go-to New Jersey pizza spot?
Over in East Orange, called Star Tavern, world famous pizza. That is my number one go-to spot. I once ate there 3 times in a single day, 3 separate occasions. That's
impressive.
Yeah.
0-1 count to Salvador Perez, who's hitting 3rd for Kansas City. So on the under here on your screen, now at minus 32.99. So we're up 44. Again, we just bought 1 share, which is a metric at Sport Trade, for $48.50. So at an average cost at plus 104, 48.5% is all that really means. Now 1 and 2, just let a bender go right down the middle of the plate. So Shane Bieber a strike away from winning our NRFI here. Well, my NRFI. That wasn't a jab, not a jab.
No,
not
a
jab.
If you're a bettor, you gotta be able to take losing. So that's part of the game.
That's true.
So,
trading has been halted. Go ahead, Jack.
No, it's it is what it is when it comes to betting this stuff. Like it's not a golden goose. It's not a WNBA prop. It's
you can bet WNBA now on Sport Trade. Bieber strikes out Perez, so as you can see, that has been halted. So a NRFI winner, which brings my overall record to like 5-100. So mazel tov to me. Flip back over here now. 3-2 count, 1 out. Back in Texas. So now we both need the YRFI to come through. Runner on first.
Yes.
So let's go Texas. Let's go. Tommy,
Dan,
we'll have to get to the. Go ahead.
Yeah, can we bet MLS props? Not props, but can we bet MLS sides and totals on Sport Trade yet?
For a while, yes. You can bet EPL, I want to say. MLS, you sure can.
That is going to be very important for the next battle bets.
Oh, yeah. My Union, of course, top of table, I think. I actually don't know, but go Union. Are you shaking your head because I'm wrong or because I don't pay that close attention?
I don't believe they're top of table. I think St. Louis is still top of table right now, but Union, they're still legit. They're still having a great season so far, but we'll see what happens when Messi comes in.
We'll see what happens. Isn't Inter Milan like one of the last place teams?
Inter Miami, they are in. Yes, yeah. They are in last place.
Okay, good to know. A walk. So now 1 out, 2nd and 3rd. Now here's what we talked about moments ago, which is would you take this sort of cash out if you had bought the YRFI mid-inning? Obviously, I'm down, but in that case, you'd be up about $10 now.
Yeah, I'm up about $14 on my small position here, but I'm going to let it ride.
Okay.
Now, Jack, I got a question for you. How much baseball do you actually watch in a given season? Really, sports in general, when it comes to betting on them, how much of it do you actually go and watch and pay attention to that way?
Very little. I do have the MLB.TV package, but only because my cell phone provider, T-Mobile, gives it to me for free. So I have it. But I couldn't pull it up right now because they don't, if you're on StreamYard, they don't let you pull up MLB.TV on the same computer.
Yeah.
That's annoying. But yeah, no, if anything, if I'm watching something because I'm betting on it, I'm watching just to pick up the cues of when I can bet.
Yeah, I had someone. No,
Go ahead,
I was just going to say. Sorry, you go, Dan.
No, I had a dumb comment, so go for it.
Oh, I was just going to say I had someone make a dumb comment to me about, I'm not taking advice from someone who doesn't watch the sport when they're betting it. And I'm like, I got some news for you. A lot of the best ones don't.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, we're down to our final out here in the YRFI in Texas.
So all I was going to say earlier was we did find out a way to stream MLB TV from my phone to a different streaming computer, which would, of course, get us sued immediately. But if you don't care about that, there's a possibility to do that. Now, Josh Young or Jung?
I think it's Young.
Okay, you were debating this, Tommy, on a show.
Yes, that has been an eternal debate on Deep Left, and we have never bothered to go find the answer.
Yes. Well, 2-1 for Josh, first name basis. 1-1 here, 2 out. So our bet basically hinges on this. Now, here's an opportunity for me to buy another one and lower my cost basis. So I'm going to do just that for an extra $20. I dropped it from, I think, let's see, check out my recent trades, from 51.5 to 35.8. So maybe not a great idea because it's a 1-2 count. We'll see what happens. Jack was nodding, though, which makes me think it was at least not a dull play.
Well, trading is halted, so
maybe it was.
That tells you all we need to know.
Nah, fair enough. That's right. That's why betting MLBI top 5 is so much better. I say that only because I'm up right now. Let's see. Oh, a well hit ball. Oh, we got a play at the plate. We do have a play at the plate. I have a feeling he's safe. He's safe. Let's go. Let's go.
It's a 4th of July miracle.
YRFI. And that's why you lower your cost basis, ladies and gentlemen.
Very nice.
That's why you do it. Yes. Let's go. A 2-0 day for me. Dagger Danny's back. Pew, 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 pew. Let's go. Let's go. Happy birthday, America. Happy birthday, America.
That's freedom ringing right there.
Oh, it sure is. Can't wait to withdraw that money. Don't tell Alex Kane. Not keeping it in the ecosystem. Wow.
That was strong.
That was electric.
The funny thing is trading halted. I just assumed there's an out coming. I didn't realize there was a play at the plate coming. I
did too. It went to the outfield, and I said, okay, well, I'm pretty sure this means he's going to get thrown out at the plate. But I don't know if you guys have the game on, but it basically hit the front of the mound and just died. So, wow. Electric. My heart is racing right now. And I haven't even had my third cup of coffee yet.
It's almost like that's part of the appeal of gambling.
It's weird, right? So weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that'll get settled at the end of the first.
I actually ended up profiting because I had enough of the yes at the long odds as well as the yes at the long odds in the other game. So turns out to be a profit for me as well. But yeah, it's fun. Betting in-game first innings definitely takes a little bit of nerves of steel because it's going to swing wildly.
Yeah. Yep. But you made money off of it. Here's a different discussion I'd like to have real quick since we've got the two of you here. So again, the D-backs third in MLBI betting. So I bought this earlier today, one share, right, at $49, 49% chance to win against the Rays today. The Diamondbacks are now up $5 since that has occurred. So that doesn't mean I've profited $5. That means I've profited $3.92. So we talk about CLV like all the time, right? It feels to be like the eternal discussion on gambling Twitter, hashtag gambling Twitter, the finest place on earth.
Yes.
Where, you know, in most places, Tommy, we'll start with you. This is theoretical. This is something that you can say, hey, like, you know, that's something that I had. I could put it in my back pocket and know that I had that. But here it's actually tangible, right? So I'll ask you, where do you fall in CLV and the added benefit as a consumer that you can actually profit off of something like that?
I mean, the fact that talking about from the sport trade perspective, that you can profit solely off the CLV and never have to even have action on the game because you're selling it off before the game even begins. That is fantastic. I personally, if you see that trophy there in the middle behind me, that is not a soccer trophy. That is a trophy for all of the fantastic CLV I have gotten on bets that then were absolutely awful. But CLV is the name of the game. I am fully in line with everyone else at Unabated, except for the fact that if you have a bet that gets an abnormal amount of it, if you get like some incredible number where you're like, wow, it was at 9 and I got this number at 7.5, something like that, you're losing. You're guaranteed losing because you got tremendous CLV. That's the number one nail in the coffin.
Yeah. You know, look, Dan, you had, I think, Clive Bixby on some streams a while back. He's a player that I know. That's how he played Sport Trade. He would just play the CLV game and, you know, take big positions and cash out before the game. I believe he did very well that way.
He did very well. He did extremely well.
Yeah. So, but the thing is like when you have a low margin like Sport Trade offers, your cash out price is very close to your equity price. You're giving up very little by choosing to cash out in those low hold markets. Conversely, in the first inning markets where the spread is a little higher, the margin's a little higher, you do give up a little bit more to cash out there. So it really is all about where you are in the market in terms of that market efficiency as well as the margins in that market. So there's plenty of opportunity on Sport Trade to cash out and not be a sucker for doing so.
I'm going to say something controversial about Clive Bixby that you would never hear at another operator, and that's we love Clive Bixby here. So there you go. This is the end of your Sport Trade commercial. Guys, thank you so much. We love the guys at Unabated, Tom, Captain Jack. Thanks so much for joining us on a profitable day for all. Tom, the last thing I want to say is fool me once, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, shame on you. You keep promising me that you're going to do one of these from your hot tub, and yet you haven't. So
yeah,
I don't know what to tell you.
That's on me. Next one. Let's do it.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody.